I'm the executive vice president of the Italian American Veterans Museum. I wish I had the gift for speaking on the fly that so many of the other speakers have, but I'm just not like that. I'm gonna have to work off of a script, and for the most part, I hope you'll bear with me. So before I talk about what we do at the museum, I wanted to share a video about the museum itself. And again, bear with me as I muddle through the technology. So like that. And then desktop. Can everybody see that?
You have to click share screen first.
Thought I did. Hang on.
You got to click share screen first, and then you'll see it pop up. There you go. Okay, we can see your screen now.
Wow. All right. Cooking with gas now. Here we go.
Know it.
Italian Americans have established a legacy of bravery that dates back to the birth of our nation. At the Italian American Veterans Museum and Library, we honor that legacy every day. Over the centuries, Italian Americans have inspired the phrase, "all men are created equal," performed in the 1st Marine Corps Band, turned the tide in the war against the Barbary pirates of Tripoli, made up the largest ethnic fighting force in World War II, earned more than 24 Congressional Medals of Honor, held the top 3 posts on the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and fought with valor from the Revolutionary War to the present. All these stories and more are told in the Italian American Veterans Museum. In our early American exhibit, Caesar Rodney rides through the night to cast a deciding vote on behalf of independence. In our Hometown Heroes exhibit, military policeman John Del Medico single-handedly takes 126 Nazi prisoners and frees more than 800 Russian prisoners of war. Chicagoans report for duty, buy bonds, can goods, back our boys, and honor the fallen in our World War II home front exhibit. In our World War II battlefront exhibit, Alberto Onesti lands at Anzio, Ralph Davino storms across Europe, and Max Tonelli survives the Bataan Death March. Robert Barcelona earns 3 battle stars while leading his squad on 30 patrols in our Korean War exhibit. And in our Vietnam exhibit, Richard Caravetta offers up the last full measure of devotion. We highlight the role of Italian Americans in World War I, the Army Air Forces in World War II, and women in all branches of the military. There are exhibits dedicated to patches, toys, and paperwork, helmets, blades and uniforms, works of art, and the souvenirs of war. We also explore lines of communication between soldiers and their families, the strategic role of Alaska in the defense of our nation, and the tireless advocacy of the national organization known as the Italian American War Veterans. Our museum has been praised for its quality, admired for its artistry, and beloved for the very personal stories it tells. Located on the Casa Italia campus near Mannheim Road and North Avenue in Stone Park, Illinois, the Italian American Veterans Museum is a treasure trove of history that enriches and inspires visitors of all backgrounds. We invite you to experience that rich history for yourself.
We're back. Are we good to go, Greg?
You're good to continue.
Good. All right. So that gives you some sense of what it's like to visit our museum, but you really have to see it to believe it. Honestly, even though we focus on the Italian American aspect or angle of our nation's military history, We tell a universal story, and we do it in, I think, a very appealing way. And visitors of all ethnic backgrounds really end up feeling moved by it. And veterans really feel like their contributions have been honored by it, and we're very proud. So we opened our doors on Memorial Day 2006. For most of our existence, we were a sleepy little backwater. We opened on Saturday, hosted an event or two each year, and operated a website that never changed. We did have a couple of major accomplishments in those early years, and they left a lasting legacy. We created a documentary about the impact of World War II on the Chicago area Italian-American community. For it, we interviewed 24 veterans who helped us tell the story of a whole generation of Italian boys from the neighborhoods of Chicago who became American men in the crucible of war. It was narrated by Bob Surratt. It aired on PBS, and it won 2 local Emmys and 6 national tellies. It's called 5,000 Miles from Home, and you can buy the DVD on our website. We also convinced the U.S. Army to bestow a Medal of Honor upon us for display purposes. We built an exhibit around the medal that celebrates the 26 Italian Americans who earned the nation's highest military decoration. So a couple years ago, we revamped our board to include several retired military officers and additional veterans. Then we teamed up with the master's class in museum management at Loyola University. They analyzed our entire operations through the course of the semester, and they delivered a report that inspired us to up our game on a number of fronts. You can now follow us on Facebook and Instagram. I know that doesn't seem very impressive to a lot of people, but it was, like I said, cooking with gas for us. We regularly update our website and link those updates to our recently launched eBlast. We post movie reviews, memorabilia blog, news of interest to veterans, highlights of our exhibits, and stories about the wartime experiences of Italian Americans. We e-blasted this event twice to help drum up participation, and we're happy to help promote any veteran-related event sponsored to a government agency or sponsored by a government agency or nonprofit organization. And anybody who's out there that's listening that's involved in that way, all you have to do is send us your information at info@iavmuseum.org. That's info@iavmuseum.org. And you can also visit our website, and the email address is readily available there. I'll give that again at the end of the presentation. So until the pandemic hit, we were regularly scheduling live events on military themes. We screened 2 PBS documentaries about the impact of World War II on Chicago. One of our board members, retired Navy Commander Joseph Troiani, served as a consultant on the documentaries. Another one of our board members, retired Army Major Lorenzo Fiorentino, talked about the economic development work he did while he was stationed in Afghanistan. He actually, he noticed that the women were making these beautiful dolls that were reflective of the various, I guess, groups, subgroups that they were a part of, and he helped them to hand create but manufacture them on a larger scale and market them broadly. It was really quite an impressive thing that he did. Another one of our board members, we were also honored to host a presentation by a 96-year-old World War II recon photographer, Ralph Trigiano, and we also set up an exhibit of his work. We videotaped those last 2 presentations, and they can be viewed on our website. We hosted a live Veterans Resource Fair in January. We have Greg and Tony of the Combined Veterans of Berwyn to thank for that. They were a lot of help, and the event was a huge success. The pandemic threw us for a loop to begin with, but we're back on our feet and we're slugging away. We've upped our website postings and e-blast from once a month to once a week. You can sign up for our e-blast by visiting our website. We're still open on Saturday in the afternoon, but only by appointment, with only 1 group per weekend and only 10 or fewer family members or friends per group, and of course following all of the protocols with masks and hand sanitizers and the like. We're hoping to videotape a couple of new presentations and post them on our website in the coming months. One of them will be by Lorenzo Fiorentino, the retired Army Major. He helped, he wrote a book about military monuments in Illinois. The other will be by our president, Renato Bacci. He's a retired Army colonel, and he helped rebuild the banking system in Bosnia after the war. So we have a pretty impressive assemblage of board members, and they really bring some remarkable expertise to bear on our decision-making process and the types of events that we sponsor, and we're very proud of that. Once there's a vaccine and restrictions are lifted, we'll be able to get back to sponsoring live events and making our space available for meetings hosted by bona fide veterans groups. We don't charge for the use as long as the group doesn't charge admission to the event. We do ask for a donation, but that's a free will donation. And you can reach out to me to schedule that when the time is ripe. And really until then, all roads lead to our website, which is iavmuseum.org. That's iavmuseum.org. And we hope to see you all at our museum soon.
Thank you, Paul. That was very informative. Thank you for supporting this event, and thank you for your continued support to the Combined Veterans of Berwyn.
Glad to.
Does anyone have any questions for Paul about the museum or anything else? Commander Topinka, I believe you had something to say too.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I took my cap off. I'm vacuuming in the background. You guys don't have to hear me, but you know I'm trying to do my household duties. But you know, sir, we'd love to have you speak to us at Post 488. We do all our meetings virtually, so I would love it if you could speak about the museum to our members. So you're invited. I will find some way to email you and invite us to be a guest. Invite you to be a guest speaker if you don't mind.
That would be great. I'd be honored to. And I have to tell you that I was so impressed by your presentation and all the incredible things that you're doing with your organization. And it's funny, I feel like we're kindred spirits because we've been moving in the same direction that you've been moving in. We've embraced the virtual world, and we're reaching out beyond the confines of the original scope of the museum to embrace the entire veterans community, supporters of veterans, the larger community, and we live to serve, and we find that the new media, the social media, are really a great way of doing that. And it's great to see that we're not alone in that commitment. You guys are doing a remarkable job.
You know, we're not alone. The only thing I miss is that our live meetings we always used to have cannoli.
Yeah.
I was a firm believer in always having cannoli at our meetings because you can't have an American Legion meeting without a cannoli, in my view. My godfather is Italian and my wife is Italian. I can't say no to a good cannoli. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is.
You know, it's funny that you say that because our current president, Renato Bacci, you know, his street name is Ron, but he goes by Renato amongst us. He always brings to every meeting an Italian candy called Bacci. It's B-A-C-I, not B-A-C-C-I, but because of that kind of kindredness, it's a favorite candy of his, and we're, as a result, well familiar with it.
Thank you, sir.
No, thank you. All right.